Deep in the abyssal depths of the North Pacific Ocean, where sunlight is a forgotten memory and the crushing weight of the sea collapses steel-like parchment, lies a secret shrouded in silence and radiation that nearly pushed the world to the precipice of total annihilation. Imagine the year 1968, the height of the Cold War, when the fate of humanity was not decided in diplomatic offices, but in the dark bellies of metallic monsters patrolling the globe's invisible currents, carrying the power to erase entire cities in the blink of an eye. While the Soviet Union lost its most dangerous jewel to the abyss and admitted a humiliating defeat before the oceanic vastness, the United States was preparing the most audacious response ever conceived by the human mind. A plan so impossible it defied reality itself. This is not merely an account of a fortuitous shipwreck, but the epic chronicle of how American ingenuity and the indomitable courage of its agents transformed a Soviet disaster into the greatest espionage coup in modern history, a secret operation that touched the bottom of hell to rescue what the Kremlin considered lost forever. The disappearance of the K-129 was not the end of a mission, but the beginning of a silent hunt where the trophy was the genetic code of the enemy's nuclear arsenal, and the United States, driven by unprecedented intelligence, decided that the ocean floor was not a tomb, but a testament to its absolute supremacy over the earth. The palpable tension of that fateful march began when the Soviet ballistic missile submarine K-129, a submerged fortress of the Gulf II class, simply stopped responding, leaving a vacuum of dread at the Pacific Fleet Command at Vladivostok. As the Russians launched a frantic and desperate search, mobilizing dozens of ships in a blind and noisy search pattern that the entire world could observe, the United States Navy and the CIA watched it all with a calculated and superior calm. What the Russians did not know was that the American hydrophone network, the sophisticated SOSUS system, had already captured the agonizing sound of an underwater implosion, a roar that echoed through the abyssal mountains and revealed to analysts in Washington the exact location of the disaster, while Moscow was still groping in the dark. It was the birth of a unique opportunity. While the Soviets abandoned their search after weeks of failure, American engineers and spies began to draw up a plan that seemed like something out of the most extravagant science fiction, deciding they would traverse 5,000 meters of water column to touch the untouchable and rewrite the rules of the Cold War right under the wounded bear's nose. Every 3 minutes of the silent descent toward the ocean floor, the magnitude of that mission became clearer. The Americans were not just looking for wreckage, they were building the future. Under the cloak of absolute secrecy involving billionaire Howard Hughes and a giant front vessel, the Glomar Explorer, the American nation invested its technical soul into a mechanical arm capable of reaching the impossible. While the world believed the ship was searching for rare minerals, the truth was a rescue operation of divine proportions, where every gear tested the limits of human engineering under a pressure that would destroy any other nation. The human drama in the shipyards and command centers was of a solemn gravity, where men of science and war worked side by side, knowing they were about to perform the maritime equivalent of a trip to the moon, but with the weight of nuclear warheads and secret codes upon their shoulders. As the Glomar Explorer positioned itself over the wreck site, Braving colossal storms and the constant vigilance of Russian ships suspicious of that strange presence, American courage was put to the ultimate test. The descent of the gigantic mechanical claw was a journey into the heart of darkness, where success would mean total victory and failure would mean international exposure. Even when the metal groaned and the hull of the K-129 broke apart, the determination of the agents did not waver, recovering secrets that would alter the balance of power for generations. This triumph of will over the depths remains as a monument to what can be achieved when innovation and patriotism merge into an unshakable national purpose. If you felt immersed in this narrative of espionage and grandeur, I invite you to become part of our crew. Subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss the next chapters where we will uncover the mysteries that shaped our world. Because here, history is told with the reverence that the truth deserves.